Unit 6, Lesson 4, Activity 1. Understand mixed numbers. First, we need to write down the definition of a mixed number. Go ahead and write mixed number, which is a number that consists of a whole number and a fraction. The second thing is to note, a fraction greater than 1 has a numerator greater than its denominator, also called an improper fraction. And I'm going to go ahead and show you an example of those here in just a moment. Please copy this down into your notebook. Making a T-table with one side saying mixed number, I'm not going to make a big T-table, I don't need that many lines, and the other side saying improper fraction. I'm going to go ahead and show some examples. So an example of a mixed number, you would see a whole number, 1, plus a fraction, 4/6. Another example, the whole number 3 and 4/5. Please write another mixed number below. Your choice. An improper fraction looks like this. 10/6. Remember, my numerator is larger or greater than my denominator. Another example, 19/5. Go ahead and write one more improper fraction. Look at the top page of 207. It says mixed numbers in the real world. Here again we see our definition. A mixed number is a number that consists of a whole number and a fraction. A fraction greater than 1 has a numerator greater than its denominator. Go ahead and look down at the bottom. It says Melly's Deli makes sandwiches. This is the price list. Regular serves 2, Friendship serves 4, Super serves 10, and Magna serves 18. Our problem says 19 friends decide to camp in the park. They order 2 super sandwiches. Each camper eats 1 serving. It says solve for number 1. How many campers does 1 super sandwich serve? Well, using my chart above, I'm going to look for the word super. A super serves 10 people. So my answer is 10 people. Question number 2. What fraction of the second sandwich is needed to serve the rest of the campers? Remember, I have 19 friends. Super sandwich feeds 10 people. So the fraction of the second sandwich, to find that out, I need to write the equation. How many did I start out with? I start out with 19. How many people can eat 1 sandwich? 10. So I'm going to subtract 10 from my 19, which gives me 9. So my fraction of the whole, well, the whole is 10. And how many do I need? I need 9. So my fraction is 9/10. Now, number 3 says, What fraction of the second sandwich is left over? Well, I know one whole sandwich is 10 over 10, or 1. So I'm going to write it fraction as 10/10. That way I remember it's 1. And I'm going to subtract from it how much we need for the rest of the campers to eat, which is 9/10. That's going to tell me what fraction is left over that they don't eat. Because out of 19 friends, serves 10, I have 9 people left over for that one sandwich. So how many pieces are left? Well, I know that my denominator stays the same. And I subtract 10 minus 9, which is 1. So I have 1/10 of a fraction, 1/10 of a sandwich left over. What number tells how many super sandwiches the campers ate in all? Well, if there's 19 people, we know that they ate one whole sandwich. So one sandwich was already taken 10 people away. I have 9 more people left, and they ate 9/10. So I just made the mixed number 1 and 9/10. What are some other situations where people use mixed numbers? Think about when children are asked how old they are. They often respond with a mixed number. For example, you might say you're 9.5 years old. You're halfway between 9 and 10. When people measure items, they often use mixed number measurements. For example, a room might be 12.5 feet wide, or a recipe may call for 3 2/3 cup of flour. These are all real-world situations where you'll find mixed numbers. Go ahead and turn back to your journals. For activity 2, we're going to look at mixed numbers and fractions. In your journal, I would like you to write the following numbers: 4 2/5, 3 4/5, 6 3/5, and 5 1/5. How do you know how many one whole strips are needed to make a mixed number? Well, we go and look at our whole number. For example, in this mixed number, I need 4. The whole number is the mix in the mixed number tells me how many one whole strips to use. So I need 4 of them. How do you know how many 1/5 parts of a fraction strip are needed to make a mixed number? Well, in this case, the numerator in the mixed number tells me how many fifths are needed. So in this one, I need 2. So if I were to take my slips, remember that here's my hole. So how many holes would I need? I would need 4 holes, and then I would find my fifth, which, of course, mine seems to be missing. I have everything but my fifth. Let's see. Make this one into fifths really quick. We didn't make fifths, did we? If this were made into fifths, I would need 2 of those pieces. Just going to kind of guesstimate here. If I broke this into fifths, I would need 2 of them. Again, you can also use your fraction bars paper that we have in our journals as well. How would I turn this into an improper fraction? Remembering my equation to turn a mixed number into a fraction, I multiply the whole number by the denominator and add my numerator. This is a formula that you will just need to memorize. So to find my improper fraction for 4 2/5, I would do 4 times 5 plus 2. Well, I know 4 times 5 is 20, plus 2 would be 22. Remembering my denominator stays the same. So now I have 22 fifths. And remember, my improper fractions, my numerator is larger than my denominator. Let's do 3 4 fifths. 3 4 fifths. I multiply whole number times denominator plus numerator. 3 times 5, 15, plus 4 is 19, over my denominator, which was 5. Go ahead and do the last 2 mixed numbers on your own. Now we're going to take a mixed number, now we're going to take an improper fraction and make it a mixed number. So in your journals, write improper fractions, and then the following fractions you will write. 17 fifths, 21 fifths, 24 fifths, 34 fifths, and 8 fifths. To turn an improper fraction into a mixed number, I divide the denominator into the numerator. So for example, on the first one, 17/5, I would divide 17 divided by 5. Well, I know my 5s. Cinder, out of the way. I know with my 5s, if I go 5, 10, 15, 20, I know that 20 is too big, so I go back to 15. How many times did it go in? 1, 2, 3. I'm left with a remainder of 2. When we're writing an improper fraction to a mixed number, this is my whole number, and my remainder is my numerator. And remember, my denominator stays the same. So if I turn this into a mixed number, 3 is my whole. I would have 3 sets of 1/5 to make a whole. 3 wholes. And I have left 2 fifths. Look at the next one. 21 fifths. Well, I'm going to take 21 divided by 5. If I kept going down with my 5s over here, 25, 30, 35. I know 25 is too big, so I'm going to stick with 20. How many times did it go in? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 times 4 is 20. When I subtract, I have a remainder of 1. My whole number is 4. My numerator is 1 over 5. Going from an improper fraction to a mixed number. Go ahead and complete the last 3 on your own. Go ahead and turn your books to page 208. We're going to be converting between mixed numbers and fractions greater than 1. Make sure you pay attention to what the number, for each number, what it's asking you to do. If it's a mixed number, you're going to turn that fraction into a improper fraction. If it's an improper fraction, you're going to turn it into a mixed number. Let's do number 5 together. 5 and 2/3, I'm going to turn it into an improper fraction. I multiply whole times denominator and add numerator. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 is 17, and I continue to leave my denominator the same. Let's skip down to number 13. Number 13 says 40 over 6, 40/6. Remember, I'm going to divide 40 divided by 6. How many times does 6 go into 40? Well, I know 6 times 6 is 36, and 6 times 7 is 42, so 42 is too large. So it's going to be 6 as my whole number. And remember, when I subtract, my remainder is my numerator. So I have 6 and 4/6. Go ahead and complete this page. This concludes Unit 6, Lesson 4.